Welcome to our podcast. We are
Adam Gonzalez.
and Ethan Escobar. We will be analyzing a soliloquy from Shakespeare's famous play Macbeth in our podcast. We will work from famous poets and analyze them and come up with our own meaning of what these poems mean. The purpose of this podcast is to connect in the mind in critical thinking and sharpen the mind at coming up with interpretations of what people say. Today we will analyze Macbeth's fear and soliloquy from Act 3, Scene 1. Prior to the soliloquy, Macbeth and the witches for a prophecy, and the witch tells Macbeth he will become Thane of Cawdor, then the King of Scotland. Macbeth is excited, but then shows that he is scared because he doesn't want to pass the king to Banquo because Macbeth is jealous of the person he is and how good of a person he is.
To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valour to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked. As it is said, Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sister when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then prophet like they called him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren sceptre in my gripe. Thence to be wretched with an unlined hand, no son of mine succeeding, if it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them and mine eternal jewel, given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings, the seed of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to utterance.
This quote refers to Macbeth's thought process in murdering Banquo. For this colloquy, Macbeth was speaking about his fear that Banquo will most likely get the crown rather than himself. This speech, in this speech, Macbeth is trying to explain that he wants to get rid of Banquo in order to guarantee himself the crown. But to be safely thus our fears in Banquo, this signifies Macbeth's deep fear. He says our fears of Banquo, meaning that this signifies no, meaning that Banquo is in his way, and he has to get past that obstacle in order to be one step closer and to becoming king. A structure that is used in the so-called this is a metaphor device. Example an example of this is when Macbeth says that he has a fruitless crown. It is because although he might be king now, his lineage is reign completely gone because he does not have children to his pass down his legacy. Macbeth, upon making this terrifying realization to kill Banquo, this is because Macbeth is very jealous of how good and good Banquo is. He does not want Banquo's sons and the sons of his sons to keep the legacy going. Macbeth used to be this used to be really nice figure and used to be a really nice figure in the very beginning, brave, honest, along with loyalty. Unfortunately, Lady Macbeth, along with the witches, got into his head, and all he could think about was getting the crown for himself to rule Scotland.
Macbeth says, "My genius, whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked." As it is said, Mark Antony was by Caesar. He, Banquo, chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then prophet-like they Banquo hailed him father to the line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown. Macbeth.
In that monologue, Macbeth uses the line, and a blade and dungeon of blood. The dictionary definition of dungeon means a feeling of offense or deep resentment. This shows how Macbeth is guilty because he is about to kill the king, but also he doesn't show any remorse. So, in conclusion, Macbeth was jealous of Banquo because he didn't want him to become king and for his kids to continue with his legacy, and he wants it all for himself. This was Adam and Ethan. Bye.